SimSpray 3 is easy, very simple, and very portable. All you have to do is roll it into a room, move the arms up. This will set up our motion tracking zone. Put in some locking pins, open up the lid, plug it in, turn it on. It's very easy to use, very intuitive. It's like an iPhone. You can set it up and be ready within a matter of minutes. This is the SimSpray 3. This is a virtual reality training tool to teach spray painting, powder coating, and blasting. It's a very portable unit. It has a touch screen, makes it super easy to do any of these different types of processes on the fly. We're gonna go into the student side, which has tutorial mode. This teaches how to do proper angle, distance, speed, and overlap. Curriculum mode, which also gives students a way of going through a learning progression where they sign in and try to get their best score. And then lastly, there is free painting that gives access to all the parts, and that way you can just get a lot of practice before you make your mistakes in real life. We have tons of different types of parts that are available as different types of parts packs for different industries, such as aerospace, furniture, building trades and architecture, our automotive, edge blending, which is a different type of process, and then geometric shapes, which are used by pretty much everyone, as well as structural parts, marine, and some testing panels, transportation, and a few other trucking components. And we have different types of processes, HVLP, air-assisted airless, as well as airless paints. That way you can do small jobs or large jobs. Lastly, we have a whole bunch of different types of colors that you can choose from, or different types of paints. These will judge you based on your technique, your angle, distance, and speed, as well as how your paint looks. And finally, what we can do is choose our environment. Once we've done that, we'll set up our equipment settings. This is our tip size, our tip orifice, and also our cup configuration, and then we are all set to go. Here's the car door, the virtual part that I've selected. Now I'm putting down that paint on this virtual piece. And SimSpray reduces those material costs and accelerates that learning. It does that by allowing us to use all these different virtual parts and swap between them, and also reset everything really quickly, as well as giving us more practice passes. It also gives us additional feedback and real-time feedback. So if I do something incorrectly, like getting drips, or if I go and put some orange peel on from being too far away, those things will show up in real time. Once we're done, we could then assess the piece. We can do that either in the headset or back on the touchscreen. First thing that we want to do is look at the paint look itself, make sure that we've painted the whole piece. I'd probably want to paint more of this piece since I didn't finish it. And then we can look at the coverage map. This is the most important aspect because this is not something that you can normally see in real life. And yet this is how you're being judged. How well the paint is going on is based on your mill build. Green here is good, blue is light, red is heavy. We can also look at different types of defects, such as dry spray from being too far off angle or being too far away, our orange peel from being too far away, and then lastly our drips from having too much material built up in one zone. Once we've taken a look at that, we could also look at our score, and this is a score that the instructor can come on over and see, or you as a student, if you want to just learn on your own, you can do that as well without having to have your instructor there at every moment. Our score here is 55, which is a blend of our coverage and our technique scores, and our coverage is based on how close are we to that target of our mill build. For our angle, distance, and speed, those are also being judged. And those, if we want to take a quick look at how that went, I can see that in our replay. And this replay also lets us see if we're too far out or too far in, or how we're doing overall. And that way we can modify our body positions for the next time that we try to do this. I'm going to try this again. My speed is relatively low, so I'm going to try this really quickly by resetting everything at a press of a button, and then putting on that cue for our speed. The way the cue works is if that cue is showing an indicator at the bottom, it's too slow. At top, it's too fast. I'm also going to be painting in the coverage map view, and this allows me to, in real time, see exactly how I'm putting the paint down. It allows people to experiment a lot more, and also really shows how the angle, distance, and speed are all connected in with the overlap in order to make a perfect coat. And once I'm done with that, I can reassess how I've done. Again, I could do that in the helmet, or I could do that on screen. You can see I've done a lot better here with an overall score of 91, a lot higher with my speed, and a lot better overall consistency with my lines. Doing this over and over again, you essentially will build up the muscle memory for simpler or more complex geometries. And this will allow students to really make their mistakes here in virtual reality as opposed to in the real world before they do a lot of those sorts of things. That way, you're not making all mistakes on the production line.
We're here at IUPAT DC11 in Middletown, Connecticut, where instructors use our SimSpray to teach technique before taking the students just out the door there to the shop floor.
I can come in here, I can check on it, okay, you know what you're doing, give them the one over. This is your goal, this is what you have to get through.
You'll have access to an admin portion of the software where you can set up custom curriculum, including custom courses and lessons, where you can set a certain part that you want painted, a certain paint that you want to use, any score thresholds that you want your students to meet. When your students complete these lessons, the scores will be uploaded to a performance portal website where you can track scores across a whole class or between certain students. You can tell exactly what they're struggling with and get them the instruction that they need.
Because not everyone's on the same level. They can focus on that here before they get out there and make a mess.
You'll also have access to a custom paint editor where you can set the target mill build for your custom paints. You can set the viscosity, the dry time, and a number of other things. You'll also have access to a thing we call the paintometer, which tracks the costs, the paint that you've used, the parts that you've painted, and the time in booth to give you a real-time return on investment calculator.
What we actually need to get them proficient at is the application, and that's where this is superior.